Good morning everyone. Today in this video I'm going to show a real-world example with Apache Beam Python. In a previous video I showed an example with Apache Beam Java. I use the same use case with a real-world pipeline but with Python SDK. To give some words about Apache Beam. Apache Beam is a open source library used in big data concern. It allows to treat a high volume of data parallelly across multiple VMs and workers. Is a distributed framework, and the concern of Apache Beam is to process to data pipeline and apply some rules on data and to process and pre-process the data, apply business rules, and then store maybe the data in a database. For Beam Python, I showed in a previous video how to have a Python environment, local environment, to work comfortably and navigate in all the classes and packages and open source packages. I also need to create a virtual env from my local project. This virtual env is created with a tool called pipenv. I list in pipenv all the needed packages to work on my Apache Beam project. I have the last version of Beam with some extra packages for Google Cloud Platform, because my use case read data from cloud storage and apply some business rules and transformation, and then at the end write the result to a BigQuery table. The extra GCP package give me some built-in IOs, input-output, in order to read and write data from and to Google Cloud. I have, for example, IOs for cloud storage, PubSub, BigQuery, and almost every services. I also use some open source packages provided by PyPI. And in the pip file, I also give the current Python version. I have packages dedicated to testing, for example, for some unit tests. And it's okay for the explanation of the use case. About the structure of the project. As I explained in my video for the Java part, I have this dataset in input. I have a list of teams, and for each team I have the list of scorers with statistics per scorer. The goal is to calculate a domain output object. And this object is the list of team, and also we calculate the total goal per team. I also retrieve a slogan per team and calculate the top scorer node and the best passer node with for the top scorer the goal, the games played, and also all the goals for this player. For the passer, I have the goal assist and also the games played. Then for the project, I have, for example, a folder called application. In this application, my Beam application is a main py file, a standard Python application. And with Apache Beam, I can pass some options and arguments to my data pipeline. After, I'm going to show the command line with all the argument and option given to this job. With this syntax, I can recover all my pipeline options with Beam. My object is extend pipeline Beam pipeline options, and I have all the needed arguments here, like the input JSON file from GCS and the output dataset on the output table. Then I have this syntax with Beam Python. With this block, I will write my pipeline inside this block, and the with Beam pipeline block give me the pipeline object, and all the treatment is based on this pipeline object. Also, the Beam will wait on the result on the job, because in Java, for example, we have the wait until finished. But with Python, we write the pipeline with this kind of syntax, and no need to manually close and wait for the result. The first step of my pipeline, I read a JSON file from cloud storage. If I show this JSON file, it corresponds to inline one new line JSON. In each line, I have my JSON object in one line. It corresponds to team.stat raw data. And with the read from text IO, I recover a P collection of string. Each element, each line is a string. In this step, I have a P collection of string. And also, for Apache Beam, we have some transformation in our pipeline. In each step, we will apply a transformation, a Pardo or a p-transform, and each step will return a new immutable P collection. In Java, we have apply method on the pipeline object, but with Python, we have this syntax that is the equivalent of the apply method in Java. We can chain all our transformation with this syntax. We have the step name and also the transformation for this step. The second step of my pipeline is I have a P collection of string, but I prefer having a P collection of dict, because in Python we have a common object that is a dict, a peer key value. This function, it's only a deserialization from a string to a dict. Then I prefer to deserialize my dict to a typed object. I have a domain object, and this domain object is called team.stat raw. For team.stat raw, I created with Python a data class. A data class is an interesting concept because I have some fields and no need to bring some boilerplate code like init method or constructor. I directly can set and can apply and push all my needed fields in my object. I have this annotation data class and it's done. When I go in my main application, I have a P collection of team.stat raw at this point of my pipeline. Then I have a validator that check if all my required fields are present. A little validator. Then I apply some business rules because I want to transform a TeamStat row object to a TeamStat domain object with the top scorer and best passer and the total goal per team. I go to this Python method. I compute the top scorer node and the best passer node. I also calculate the total goal per team. I create this object for the top scorer, also another object for the best passer. At the end, I return my final object, TeamStat, that is a data class. And for the data class, it's very interesting because I can directly have some field parameters, and I can set all my field parameters with the linked values here. At this step, I have a collection of TeamStat domain. I also have another method that allows me to recover a slogan per team. I have the team name, and I recover the slogan for the current team. I return the current object. I can return a new instance of a data class, an immutable instance of this data class, while setting only the needed fields, calculated fields. At the end, I want to write my pay collection to a BigQuery table. In Java, I have a structure called a table row. With Python, I have the same structure, but Apache Beam Python allows us to write a pay collection of dict directly in BigQuery. It's interesting because no need to transform my object to a kind of structure like table row. This step allows me to transform my TeamStat domain data to a dict. I only had an ingestion date to my current dict in order to store this information for each line in my BigQuery table. And at the end, I use this IO write to BigQuery, this output connector. I set the current GCP project, the output dataset, the output table, the current insert method with BigQuery. In this case, I have a batch pipeline because I read the JSON file from GCS, I read a bounded source. And the method is passed as a program argument and is the file load method. Also, I use this option with BigQuery in order to append my pay collection in my BigQuery table. I didn't use write truncate because I don't want to empty my table. I want to append the new data in my table. Also, this this option is very important because I don't allow Beam to create the BigQuery table because I think the best practice, the concern of Apache Beam is only the data processing on the data pipeline, and the responsibility to manage the infrastructure is done outside of Beam and Dataflow in a tool like Terraform with infrastructure as code. The code is done. I showed all the pipeline on the transformation, also the input and expected data. Then, in my README file, I have prepared some command line to launch my job with the Dataflow runner. Because Beam, I have different runners, Spark, Flink, and Dataflow. Dataflow is the managed runner in Google Cloud Platform, and the Dataflow runner is serverless, and Dataflow proposes an auto-scaling for us. For example, if the data increased, the Dataflow runner can create other compute engine VMs and workers and parallelize all the data across the workers. An element that is important with Python, this example shows how to launch the Beam job with a setup py file. For Beam Python, we have the runner that will instantiate the Dataflow job. In this case, the runner for me is my local machine in my local virtual environment. My virtual environment, local environment, is prepared with pipenv. Pipenv installed all the packages in my virtual env. This virtual env will launch the Python command to instantiate the Dataflow job. Then Dataflow will create compute engine VM and workers. And the workers will take the setup py file while instantiation of the workers. And we need having the same packages in the setup py file and in the runner, in my case, the local and virtual environment. It's very important to have the same packages because the runner will prepare the job and the workers will use the setup py file and the version needs be the same. No need to set Apache Beam here because the Apache Beam will be taken from the runner. But all the needed open source packages from PyPy need to be the same and have the same versions. Also, instead of setup py file, we can use custom Docker image for Dataflow workers. I also think it's a good practice to use a Docker image because the runtime of the workers will be faster than with a setup py file. With the setup py file, when a worker will be instantiated, the package will be again installed inside this worker. But with a custom Docker image, the runtime will be prepared and the worker will be instantiated from this container and Docker image. In another video, I'm going to show the same code and the same example with a custom Docker image from container registry and maybe artifact registry. Because from the documentation, the example take images from container registry. Maybe today it's possible to do the same with artifact registry. But in the next video, we will show how to do the same with a custom Docker image for the workers. I have in my README file the command line. This command line go inside the folder containing the main py and the main py name file, the GCP project ID, the input JSON file, the job name that is unique because I concat a prefix with the current timestamp. I indicate that the runner is Dataflow runner. I have the staging location that is useful for Beam to prepare some elements before to launch the job, prepare the package and order. I also give the region where the Dataflow job will be run. In this example, I give the setup py file for the workers. I have a templication for data flow, the output dataset, the output table, and also the bqwrite method file load for batch pipelines. I go in my shell. I use a token key, as I explained before in another video. The Apache Beam and Dataflow and the current shell need to be authenticated to Google Cloud. Usually it's not a best practice to use a token key, but for the local execution, we can do that with the key for testing purpose. I prepare my command and I launch my Dataflow job. And while waiting the job to be instantiated, we will go to the dedicated page that contains all the Dataflow jobs. I go to my page and here in Dataflow I have all the job, all the successful jobs, and normally my current job will appear. Okay, the job has been instantiated. We can see that we have the Dataflow graph, and we have all the steps of my pipeline here. I read a JSON file. I map a collection of string to dict. I deserialize my dict to the TeamStatRow data class and object. I validate the required fields. I compute a TeamStat domain object with all the business rules. I set the current slogan to the team. I transform the TeamStat domain data to a dict before to be written to BigQuery. In these steps, I have a P collection of dict, and I can write my P collection to BigQuery, to the BigQuery table. For the BigQuery table, I have this dataset Maslum test and also an output table called TeamStat. I have the data of my team, also the top scorer node and the best passer node here, with the games played, the goals, all the goal assists, and also the games for the best passer. I again go to the graph of my Dataflow job. We can see that we have all the job information for my Dataflow pipeline, the status, the SDK versions, Python 3.8 and the last version of Apache Beam in this case. We also have the resource metric for this job, the current CPUs, and also the memory used for our pipeline. The resource metrics are very interesting because if we saw that our job used a big infrastructure to run our job, maybe we can after this optimize the code of our job, and we can detect that maybe there is a problem in our pipeline and in our code. The resource metric is very interesting. We also have the pipeline option. We have the input JSON file, the job name, the project, the region, the setup file, also the output dataset and the output table. It takes few minutes to instantiate the workers with Python. The runtime is a little slow, but for a high volume of data, Dataflow is serverless, and we can wait on the creation of the infrastructure with a serverless approach. And then all the data, all the big data will be processed very fastly at the end. With Dataflow, we can access to the job log here. All the log for the graph is proposed. We also have the worker logs. The worker logs correspond to all our IOs and all our transformations. Okay. Also, we have some logs for BigQuery and also diagnostics. Which is interesting, we can also select a step of our pipeline. We can, for example, click on the write team state BQ, and we saw that we have 2 lines that are written to our output BigQuery table. We go in our table to check the inserted data in this table. I click on the preview and we have our data as expected. We have our teams. Also, we have the top scorer node with the, the total games and the total goal for the top scorer. We also have the statistic for the best passer. I think it's good. My use case is finished. I hope you liked it and we learned something. Don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel to support me and to learn many things. I will prepare other videos with Apache Beam and Google Cloud Platform. And see you soon. Bye bye.